Okay, I'm going to talk about the Element 14 Wi-Fi adapter for the Raspberry Pi. I'm going to do a review and disassembly of the item. So this is the Element 14, and its product is Wi-Fi. Okay, this is the Wi-Fi from Element 14. Okay, that's the Wi-Fi from Element 14. Okay, that's the adapter, and this is the box. Here are the specs. Okay, so it's a very small device that was made specifically for this guy. It looks actually very similar to the Tenda W311M. It actually looks exactly like it, and I wonder if it's that. I don't know, but it looks like it. Okay, so let's boot it up. So let's boot up the Raspberry Pi. I made my own adapter to test amount of power it takes up. Okay, so this is an ordinary USB extension cord, and it's got the female on one end and male on the other end. And what I did was splice the positive, the red line here. Okay, the red wire, which is the positive, splice it and put a connect a meter to it. So I'm going to plug it in, plug in the adapter plus the power here. Start it up and see how much power it uses. I built my own open frame case here. Well, it is just a piece of aluminum with holes in it. This is the Raspberry Pi B revision 2, the one with 2 mounting holes, which the other ones don't have. The old one doesn't have that. Okay, so as it starts up, you can see it's using 440 milliamps, 450 milliamps. See, still booting up. Okay, and all that's connected is the Wi-Fi adapter and nothing else. Okay, you can see the light flashing. As it settles down, uses 400 milliamps. It's still doing something. Okay. So it's peaking at 450 milliamps. Okay. And it gives you a steady blue light when it's up and running. So Let's see what happens when you transfer some files. So I'm going to try to connect to it, which I have a static IP set up for this guy. So, or I have to. Oh, by the way, there's no setup needed. You just plug it in, and there's no drivers or anything like that. So all you gotta do is plug it in, and it just recognizes it. Log in as root or whatever. I log in as root. So just plug it in and set it up. So let's transfer some files and let's find something big. As I'm typing, I'm actually on the machine itself. So when I hit enter, see it flashes. As I hit a key, it flashes. Enter sends out two characters, so it flashes twice. So let's see what happens. I'm just gonna randomly select a file. Okay, so it's transferring files, and it's 45. It's really peaking at 460 milliamps. Just peaks at 460 milliamps, and that's about it. So let's see a ping flood. I'm going to ping a nearby machine. And I'm going to do a ping flood. And it doesn't really use a lot of power, but so let's see what happens when you ping flood. And as you can see, here's the ping flood. And it's using it lost like I can just see that lost 39 packets in the ping flood. So that's quite a bit of loss. But for Wi-Fi, yes, it's okay. And let's see. Take a look at the speed of that. Actually, I'm gonna actually do that again and see what happens to the speed. Let's see what happens. Speed, which is it's the. All right, let's take a look at that. And let's take a look at the speed of that. I saw it peak at about 8. Oh, there it goes. Just a new peak now. 10 kilobits per second. 10 megabits per second. So about 10 megabits per second peaking. But that could be various factors, because it's also writing to a flash card, which could be a bottleneck also. Machines remoting 2 is it's a standard desktop PC i7 so that shouldn't be a problem, but it could be limited by the flash card, so I'm not gonna worry so much about the speed of that. So let's go back to this. Alright, I can't say about that. And so let's see. So let's shut it down actually. Okay. So do a shutdown remote. I use it headless, so I gotta shut it down remotely through a SSH session. Okay. So wait for it to shut down. Okay, it just did. Okay, it's down. When it's down, it's 110 milliamps or so, approximately. So it's off. You can also tell by touching it, it's cold. So take it apart. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that apart. See what happens. Take apart the Wi-Fi adapter. Use one of these pry tools. You can use a screwdriver or something. Actually, I gotta remove this part. Okay, it's a small flathead screwdriver. Okay, so I'm just gonna pinch out this, pry out this little thing here. Okay, pry that out. So look what happens, it comes right off. USB. It's right off. You see it comes right off. So. Let's see what's inside. The chip is a Ralink, so let's see if I can get that focus. You see that? Just Ralink RT 5370N. Yeah. See all the parts there. See all the capacitors and resistors and diodes. Capacitor arrays there. You see the antenna. It's got the little built-in printed antenna here. Okay, it's the Wi-Fi adapter. Okay, it was made in 2012, the last quarter of 2012. It's probably like December 2012. Or maybe at the end of November 2012. That's the other antenna fragment there. Okay. It's crystal. That's the crystal right there. That's the oscillator. That's it gets you the 1 or 2 gigahertz or whatever it is. Capacitors here, diodes, and that's probably a voltage regulator. These two are probably the voltage regulators. So once again, that's the processor there. That's the brains behind this. Okay, so guess reassemble it. It fits right here. The edge of it. The edge should fit right there. There's a little bit of a raised edge here, so it should fit right there. It should stop. As you slide it across, it should stop right there, and just snap it back together. It should hit the 2 holes here. I don't know if you can see that. There's 2 things that stop the circuit board right there. These 2 little things here that stops the circuit board from going any further. And just snap this together. Just hold it together and just snap it back together. Okay, nice clean seal. This flexes out a little bit. It shouldn't, but I bent it a little earlier. So just gonna reassemble it, and it takes like a second. And again, don't forget these two notches here. Crimp it back down with a screwdriver. So that it's nice and tight, so that you can reassemble it and push it in and pull out. Okay, nice clean, like that never happened, like you had never taken it apart. Didn't void the warranty. Who wouldn't know? Okay. So there you have it. Element 14's Wi-Fi adapter for the Raspberry Pi